and welcome here to MoreTalkFCB, and welcome to more build-up to Barcelona against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And I felt like, to be honest, today I had to make this video because I've been reading your comments. I do that an awful lot. I have to see what you guys think going into this game. The majority of people don't give Barca any chance at all, and I personally think that's so wrong in a game like this. Because don't get me wrong, I've already spoken over on TalkFCB about what Bayern can bring to this game, how good they've been this season, and I am very respectful of what they're able to do to us on this stage. But this is a knockout game. This is a one-off game. And for me, you can't just rule out and give no chance to a team like Barcelona. You can say that Bayern are favourites, you can say that Bayern should win this game, but believe me, we will have a chance, and here are 5 reasons to stay positive. Number 1, Barcelona are the underdogs. And let me just explain why, for me, that is an advantage going into this game, and that is a reason to stay positive on the Barca front. Because for me, in the Champions League, this has never happened before. I've never actually gone into a game and had to make pre-match videos about a game where Barca were quite clearly the underdogs going into that game. Because like I've already said, Bayern are favourites. Bayern are the favourites to win this game, and there's no getting around that. What they've shown throughout the season so far, it dwarfs what Barcelona have been capable of and what we've seen from our team. So, in this game, we're not expected to win. What does that do? It relieves all of the pressure attached on our shoulders. Because you think about our Champions League exits in years gone by. You look at the games against Roma. You look at the games there against Liverpool. What did we have upon our shoulders at all times? We had pressure. We were the ones who should have gone through in those games. We were the ones there playing with everything to lose. And the teams we were facing, they had nothing to lose. They could go out and give it absolutely everything, in the back of their mind knowing that, they weren't expected to win anyway. So it doesn't really matter. They're playing without fear because there's no pressure attached to their shoulders. And it means that in this game, it's roles reversed. Suddenly now, Barcelona are the ones, well, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's come into this game. We're the underdogs. We can play on that. You see Atletico Madrid do it all the time. Simeone sets his team up to be an underdog because it's enjoyable, because it relieves that pressure, because it allows you to be a bit more expansive and to just play the game and not the occasion. And that's why, for me, Barca being underdogs, it's fine by me. And I think point number 2 comes as a result of point number 1. Because the second point is all about the fact here that Bayern Munich, they're not going to hold back. They are going to come and attack us. They are going to have no fear about the way they're going to play their game, and they are certainly going to come out and try and hurt us in every single area. And let me just explain why that actually is not such a bad thing. Because you think about it, so far under Quique Setién, we have seen some improvements. We've also seen some areas whereby it hasn't worked out. And one of the biggest problems by far under Setién at Barcelona has been we've failed to really have a plan to break down teams in a low block. When teams have sat deep in the field, when they've shut down the space in behind, we simply haven't found a way through. There hasn't been a plan to get us through that kind of opposition. But in this game now, that doesn't exist. Bayern are not going to park the bus. Bayern are not going to sit deep. They are going to come forward because they got belief in themselves, they're high on confidence, they got brilliant attacking players. So they're going to come forward and they're going to try and hit us with everything they've got. And I'm not saying they're going to throw player after player after player forward and overcommit. But what I am saying is this, we can guarantee, is going to be a much more open game than what we've seen against Napoli, than what we've seen against some of our league opponents. And I think that could definitely play nicely into Barca's hands, and particularly, it'll be more pleasing for Quique Setién. Number 3, though, would be all surrounding Bayern's history in this competition when coming up against Spanish opposition. Now, of course, you're looking here to the history books. You could say that it has absolutely no bearing on the game. And look, if you want to have that view, I've got no problem with that. That's absolutely fine. But sometimes it can play on your mind. And particularly here, when you look at the stats, Bayern must have in the back of their mind that against Spanish teams, it doesn't always go well for them. Sometimes it just doesn't quite happen. And when you look at the the results here. You can't argue against that. In 2014, they lost to Real Madrid in quite embarrassing circumstances in the semi-finals in 2014. A year later, in the semis again, it was the same story, but to Barcelona, out in the semi-finals to a La Liga team. Then, in 2016, it wasn't Barça, it wasn't Real Madrid. This time, it was Atletico. Bayern lost in the group stage to Atletico, and then again in the semi-finals in 2016, yet again ending a Champions League campaign to a La Liga team, before in 2017 and in 2018, they went out twice, both times to Real Madrid. And you can see there, in 5 successive seasons, to go out every single time to a Spanish team, yeah, you can say that's a coincidence. You can say that has no bearing on this game, but you'll be aware of that. If you're a Bayern player, which many of them are, that played in those games, you will know what's happened in the past. Number 4 is also a very, very interesting point that we have to bring to everybody's attention, and that is the fact here that Ousmane Dembélé could return in this game. He's been training well now for quite a few days. He's been back with the group. He's been looking good. He looks ready to go, and he's desperate to play a part here in the quarter-final stage. And what better way to bring him back into things? He's not going to start the game, but coming off the bench to potentially have an impact on this kind of game against a team who he's ripped apart in the past. Bayern will be aware of what Dembélé can do at his very best. In his time with Dortmund, he had some brilliant games against Bayern, and actually some of his performances against Bayern was what actually prompted Barça to sign Dembélé from Dortmund in the first place. And if he could just recapture a tiny part of that, a tiny portion of that in the few minutes that he may have out on the field, Barça could have a different dimension, a different option, and Dembélé's inclusion could definitely add some much needed optimism within the dressing room. Last but not least though, and I have saved the best till last, because quite simply, Lionel Messi. That is all I need to say. Because honestly, you cannot forget that Messi is in this team, and when he is in your team, you have a chance. The end. Quite simply, when Messi is on the field, you always feel as though you've got an opportunity. If he turns it on, if he does some of the things that he's very much capable of doing, we've seen it against Napoli just a few days ago, he just came alive. He came alive there and took the game away from them in the blink of an eye, and they could do nothing, and I mean nothing, to stop him from doing that. And it's the same for any team. I don't need to take you back to 2015. I don't need to tell you about the goals that he scored against Manuel Neuer. And again, those same players, Neuer, Boateng, they're still in this team. They still remember what Messi can do, and everybody will be aware of that. And of course, he will remain a threat. You will never, ever rule out Messi. And when he is there, we will always have confidence and have belief. So those right there, guys, are some of the reasons that I feel Barcelona fans can be positive. I'm not saying that we're definitely going to beat Bayern. I'm not saying that we go into this game and we should believe that we'll comfortably overcome this team. Because like I keep saying, Bayern are a good team. There's no getting away from that. There's no getting around that. We are all aware of that. But we have a chance. People who say here that Barcelona are going to get walked all over, that Barcelona shouldn't even turn up because we're going to lose to Bayern so badly, whatever, we don't care. We know in our mind that we have the tools. If we can turn it on, if we can find the right moment, we can win this game. Otherwise, what's the point? Why are we even flying out to Lisbon if there's no chance? We will always have belief. We have Messi. We have others too, who can get the job done. And until that final whistle goes on Saturday, we will keep the faith in this team. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What do you think here of the 5 reasons why we should remain positive ahead of this game? And of course, if you've got any more, leave them below. All the positivity, all the optimism, it is welcomed ahead of this game. Let me know in the comments down below. Whatever's on your mind right now, I want to hear it. There's plenty more build-up coming up here on MoreTalkFCB. And if you haven't done already, please don't forget to check out my Champions League predictions ahead of all of those big, massive quarter-final games. You can find that right here on the channel. And don't forget to leave your predictions in the Flick chat there, the TalkFCB chat. You can find that there in the description down below, that we're all in and all excited about these games. I will see you soon, guys. Thanks again for that incredible support that you give me. I'll be back soon. But until next time, as always, keep believing. Visca el Barça.